Iran and a U.S.-Israeli coalition has just entered a chilling new phase. So today, we're going to break down how civilian infrastructure has suddenly become the new front line in this escalating conflict.
It's a pretty stark question, isn't it? But it's one that's being answered right now. Not with armies, but with a totally different kind of weapon.
And the answer is, you target the very lifelines that hold its society and its economy together. We're not talking about military targets anymore. This has become a war on infrastructure.
And that right there brings us to the heart of this explainer. A direct escalation where civilian bridges have become strategic targets in a conflict that's just intensifying by the day. In what is just a stunning move, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, has publicly declared that it's going to destroy key bridges in neighboring Gulf countries. And you gotta understand, this isn't just a threat, it's a very calculated promise of retaliation. So you have to ask, right? What could possibly trigger such a drastic and dangerous shift in strategy? Well, to understand that, we have to go back and look at the first strike.
The whole cycle began with a really devastating attack on a major symbol of Iranian development, and it was an attack that crossed a line that until now had been respected.
A U.S.-Israeli strike targeted and destroyed a huge portion of Iran's B1 bridge. Now, this wasn't just any bridge. At the time of the attack, it was this massive project set to be the tallest in the entire country.
You see, the B1 bridge was a massive civilian project. It was meant to ease traffic, connect the capital with another major city. Its destruction sent a very clear signal. The old rules of engagement, those unspoken norms that protect civilian life from military conflict, they just didn't apply anymore.
The aftermath of that strike was immediate and it was severe. And I'm not just talking about the physical damage, but in the human cost, and a fiery war of words. Iranian state media, and they were quoting the deputy governor of the Albrus province, reported that at least 10 civilians were killed in the attack. But the human toll didn't stop there. The very same reports claimed 95 others were seriously injured, and they warned that the number of fatalities could actually rise.
You might expect some sort of de-escalation, but the response from the U.S. was defiant. President Trump actually posted an image of the smoking bridge, adding this chilling message and warning Iran to make a deal or face even more attacks on their infrastructure.
So, Iran's response? It was swift and it was symmetrical. The message was clear. If our civilian infrastructure is a target, then so is the infrastructure of U.S. allies in the region.
So the IRGC released this list, putting nations like Kuwait, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Jordan on notice. And these aren't just some obscure structures. They are iconic and absolutely essential pieces of national infrastructure, and now they're all in the crosshairs.
In this list, it just reveals a picture of extreme vulnerability. Take the King Fahd Causeway, for instance. It's not just a bridge. For the island nation of Bahrain, it is the only land link to the mainland. Its destruction would be absolutely catastrophic.
And that's really the crucial point here. For many of the bridges on Iran's list, like some of those connecting islands in the UAE, there are just no viable alternatives. So severing them means isolating entire communities and, frankly, crippling their economies.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for the region and really for the future of warfare? Well, the implications are profoundly destabilizing. And this is why this whole thing matters so much. A critical line has been crossed. That unspoken rule about leaving civilian infrastructure out of military conflicts, it's been shattered. And that creates a really dangerous precedent that normalizes a new and much more brutal form of warfare for conflicts all around the globe.
So this leaves us with a final and pretty sobering thought. A bridge connects more than just two pieces of land. It connects people, economies, futures. When they become legitimate targets, we really have to ask ourselves, what other foundations of civilian life